Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam. Namaskar everybody, Namaskar. I'm going to talk in English. Since last week I am talking about my spiritual journey, and I am speaking sometime in Hindi and sometime in English. So now I am going to talk in English. Okay, as I have said earlier, about myself, that I learned meditation. I came to know in Ananda Marga. Uh, I came to know Ananda Marga in 1967, and then I was living in a rented place, and then I moved to a Jagriti, our yoga house, our center, our ashram, and had a I was only one Margi in my family, and since I became Margi, there was a conflict between me and my family members, my father and brothers, you know. And anyway, I moved to Jagriti, and I did not take permission from my father, brother to go to Jagriti. And I started to live there. Also talk about, Acharya Brahmadevji, and in the past, uh, and I share some of his story. So the conflict between me and my father or my family was increasing day by day. And, I was young. I was barely 16 years old, 16 and 70, you can say, is in between when I moved in Jagriti. Uh, it was actually just 16, I think. Yeah. And I started to live there. But the day by day, uh, the conflict was increasing. I didn't know how to do it. Thing why they wanted to, I was going sometime Ranchi, sometime here, sometime there to attend different program of Anand Marga, and I really love it to do that, you know. I, and so they were kind of angry with me, and I had decided in my life that I will become sannyasi the day I got initiation. I have talked about this, how it came in my mind. That was, I was too young, but I decided I will become sannyasi, and then my main aim was to become 18-year-old and go and become sannyasi. That was the thing in my head all the time. So I was trying to learn things, trying to get experience about about spiritual life, sannyasi life. So different places I was going to attend this and that program, learning about spirituality. Though I was very young, you know. So day by day, the conflict between me and family increased, and it came, a time that it was very difficult. So, I had a family friend who used to live in town. He was a rich guy, the Jain family, and was, my family acquaintance. My father used to go, so my father had told him that whatever my son need, you just give him money because my father was living away. So I used to go to the Sethji, and whatever money I needed, I used to get from him for my uh, education. And then the time came in 1970 when I was going to go to college. I went to this my family acquaintance, you know, and when I went there, there was an old guy called his name was Hiralal Jain. And when I went there, he said, "Your father has instructed me not to give money anymore to you." because you are not studying, you are moving here and there and this and that. So I'm not going to give any money to you. Other your family have permitted. And when I came to know, they were already threatening since a couple of years, since I joined Ananda Marga, that either you study or remain a march. And so I really become very upset. I came back, and when I came to Jagriti, only in my head was, why I have to suffer for this? I wanted to two things: do work for Baba and realize God. That was the realization of the Brahman. Why I have to study these things? Why I have to go to college? Why I have to depend anyway? There was no way. The family have stopped money. So I came because I was so upset. I brought all the notebooks, my books, my pens, paper, pencil, everything. I was mad. I brought it out from my room, put a kerosene oil over it, and I burned everything. I destroyed everything. I thought I don't have to, I don't need a bookish knowledge to realize God or do the work for the society. That's why I did in my head that time. But I don't need. If you realize the God, then I don't need. And I was so much intoxicated those days about spirituality. I really love it. Seeing two things: the love, the kindness, the compassion in Anand Marga. One side, others, you know, helping other people who are getting a new human being to build a new human society. That was in my whole head, that we have to create a new society, a better society in the world. To create a better society, you have to create a real moral and spiritual person. That was in my head. And for that, I don't need, you know, anything. And that is the reason I burn whole things. But after burning, I didn't know how to do it next. It was really strange because I had no many acquaintance. I didn't know many people. I know few people there. I didn't want to go back home because I had nothing to do. You know, I cannot go to Ranchi uh, because I had already told you my stories that there was Dada there, DS Dada, and he said that you cannot stay here more than 1 or 2 days because your family had complained, and so you go back. Otherwise, our Jagriti in Medinagar will be trouble. Will burn down. And my family belonged to the ruling party. And my brother was in politics. He has always these things. He has gone sometime to Jagriti. They had threatened the local acharya that, if something happened to my brother, we're going to burn down. So I was kind of blacklisted in Ranchi even, that you don't come here, just better stay away from us. So I cannot go to Ranchi. Then I had not become, and also I had a very bad experience because, well, what happened one time, there was one Dada came to Medinagar and he convinced me that Baba needed, you know, 50,000 WTs and asked me to go to Varanasi. But I said, I'm not 18, Dada, and I had no idea about it. 18, what were the 18-year-old things those days? And he said, Baba need badly 50,000 old timers. So you should be one. I said, Dada, I can go, but I'm not 18. So he said, it's no problem. Because I told him, Acharya told you go to become Dada when you are 18-year-old. So he sent me, to Varanasi. And he said, there's nothing wrong to lie about your age. And this was really funny, really funny. So really, I believed and I thought, well, I can do it. So I went there. I went to Varanasi, our training center in Sigra. It was around 69 or 70. I don't remember exactly. I went there. And then when I arrived to the training center, Dada came out, the trainer, and he asked me, I look very young. So he said, what is your age? I said, I'm 18-year-old. And, he asked me, tell me your birthday. So he said, and I didn't think about it. I didn't calculate before my birth date how to make 18-year-old. I told my exact birthday. See, you are not 18-year-old, you are 16 right now. You just don't come here. You are not allowed to even enter in my campus. No one is allowed below 18. And he didn't allow me to even enter. I had traveled whole night to go there. So I returned back again to Medinagar. So I had this experience that I cannot go to training center to become a sannyasi. That was my aim of my life. So I didn't go there, Varanasi. I means second time I had no planning when I burned all these things. So neither I can go Ranchi, neither I go to become a acharya, neither I go to home, and neither I go to college. So all the doors were closed. Only place for me was, you know, there was one Dada I have talked about, one family acharya, Acharya Brahmadev. He used to come to our unit, and he had ashram. I had been so many times in his, place, and I had told everybody know that I have to become, one day sannyasi. And he said, if you need any help, you know, my house, my door will be always open for you. If you need any help. So I thought about it. I said, maybe I go. I had been so many times there. So I went to the, uh, place where Acharya Brahmadev was staying there. And it was the month of around September 1970. I there. He too, he has a beautiful place in the middle of forest, called Bagmara Ashram. And no, it was it was the house of an Anglo-Indian lady and who committed suicide. And there was humor about that, that sometimes this woman come out with a ghost. And it was a haunted house. It was, this house, and somehow he had bought this house and her properties, and that was the ashram. So nobody, you know, what an interesting, mystic place. It was an interesting place away from the hustle and bustle of the city, in the middle of jungle. And there was some farmland, there were fruit trees, and nearby there was a big river also, jungle river, and it was very interesting that place. So I thought maybe I try there. So I went there at the ashram of Acharya Brahmadev or called Bhagmara Ashram. This was also a master unit. He has donated some land for Ananda Marga. So there was a master unit called Ananda Pit. It is very close to Anand Zila. So, the how his he had given the land the same place. The Bhagmara Ashram and Anand Pit master unit were both were the same place. So I went there. And luckily, it was luckily that he always, he used to go and do prachar here and there. Sometimes he used to stay with his wife and two children. So I went there and explained his situation. He said, well, you can stay here. But if you want to be a sannyasi, then, it was something like this that, if you can, he said one thing that sannyasi life is very hard. So if you can stay in my place, if you can survive here, then you can really can be Anand Marga sannyasi. Anand Marga sannyasi life is very tough. So it's the first thing he told me to take off my shirt and pant of college, dress, and say, we live like a sadhu. He gave me some piece of cloth to wrap, you know, and very simple clothes I had, and very simple tie. There was nothing much there. So I started to, live there. It was bad situation. So I had to give some corn bread, corn chapati, morning and evening, this two-time meal. That was the things. That was the only meal. And mostly the vegetable was the chili vegetable, and sometimes got other vegetable. That was life in Baghmara ashram. It was very hard. And he asked me if he can take care of his family, his cows and buffalo and his land and his wife and children, so that he will be free and go and do prachar. So I said, okay, Dada, I can try. I can stay here. So that we make arrangement. And that is time, I was just staying there in September. And well, he went to do prachar. And the meantime, when he went there, I was taking care of his family. So Acharya Brahmadeva went, and that is time, Baba came to Amjharya ashram, Amjharya, to take rest. And he was one of the Acharya when Baba introduced Bhavanam Kevala mantra. And because after that program, Acharya Brahmadev and some of the Margi came there and explained about how Baba introduced Baba Nam Kyolam. So from memory goes back, they said that first of all, they asked some of the people to go and hear some sound. So sound was coming from a space, and they could not in the beginning could not recognize what it was. Then it is said that first you hear something like a Baba and then the Nam and the Kyolam. There nice sound like music was playing. They could not hear, but it was something like that. But Baba Nam, okay, yes. And after that, Baba told you go and dance. People started to dance. You know, whatever way. There was no such thing as a Lalit Marmik or any kind of dance. So people came and started to dance whatever they had seen on the movie or village or whatever. People started to dance, on the kirtan. And why I say this because when they came back, some of the people were dancing, and they were not dancing like today. What we do, Dalit, Marmik dance. So it was wonderful to see this. And anyway, uh, I saw this first time, and I hear first time Baba Nam Kelam in October in Bagmara Ashram. So life was going okay, and I stayed there. And again, Acharya went somewhere for Prachar and come back. So it's like this. It went in November, in month of December, end of the December, I had this dream. I was, life was very hard, very difficult, but I had nowhere to go. I wanted to stay and become 18 years old and go to become sannyasi. That was in my head all the times. Nothing else. Nothing. So one night I had this dream, and dream was Baba came in my dream, and it was the December of 90, 1977. You know, he said, "Baba, you should leave." Baba told me in dream that I should leave that place. So when Baba told me, there was not much discussion. In the dream. That was, so. And I got up from the dream. I sat down and I started, what should I do in the middle of night? So I had nowhere to go. I cannot go back to home. I cannot go to Jagriti. I cannot go to training center. There was no place on this earth to go. I didn't know many people. Very few Margi, in my unit. That's it. There were so few Margis those days. So, I didn't make plan. I might have gone someplace, but, so it came day. That time Acharya Brahmdevji was there. So even I didn't talk about this thing. What should I do? And afternoon, I saw my father there. My father came with the big stick. And when he, saw me and he told, what you are doing here? And he saw me this cloth, and I was just bringing cow or buffalo, I don't remember, something. And he was shocked to see me to do this work. He said, I have so many, my father was a big farmer. He had more than 100 acres land. He had 50, 60 cows, 10, 15 buffalo, he had horses and, business, all kind of things. He said, that if you want to take care of the land or the cows and things, I'm hiring people, There were like 10 people at least working in my house, regularly. And when we have a farming, maybe 30, 40, 50 people works to harvest and plant the things. So I said, what you are doing? He was, so he went to, anyway, Acharyaji was sitting and I thought Acharyaji will save me. I had nothing much to say. He said, how come my son is here? And he said, well, he came here and he wanted to be here. He has no place to go. I didn't do anything. If you want to take back your son, you just take it. So that was it. I thought, oh my God, the Dada will save me. The Tata Brahmdev will do something, but he didn't do anything. So I was very sad. And father, I had, I can't do anything. There was only place in whole world, this Bagh Mara ashram. I even had lost that one. It was very hard. Very hard. So I again, I went back and with my father and came to my house. And when I came, what do you call? It was the end of December, so uh, there was going to be an annual DMC, New Year, yeah, annual DMC or the New Year DMC, Brahma Chakra, and I wanted to go there. So, I went. I was not very happy. Just about 3, 4 days I stayed, and after 3, 4 days I wanted to leave and go to attend DMC. And I packed my bag. I was going to go, and then my mother and my sister and my sister-in-law, they came and they stopped me. Uh, you know, they started to cry. They started to cry. They said that we won't allow to leave. You know, and I cannot do anything. I was not able to do anything. I didn't know what to do really. But anyway, I canceled my program to go to Drama Chakra. And after 1 or 2 days, my brother-in-law was there, husband of my elder sister, and he took me to his place. I was there for a month and a half, and then my mind went very down, and I was not able to meditate. I thought my life ended. I was thinking about this people life. Yeah, there was always something about Baba, something about, but seeing the situation that nobody was helping, I was going down and down. After 1.5 months, I was back to my place, and my father's looking at me. He said, "Now I had left my college. I can't do anything, and I have no interest for farming and taking care of cow and well, all these kind of things. I never thought of this, you know." So he thought that maybe I can try to do some business, who open a store. He was a rich person. He has always money. There was no problem in my house. My father was there, so few days I worked there, but I didn't want to do this work at all. Even it was kind of boring. My one, my mind was going down and down and down. Anyway, I was not able to do meditation. There was love for Baba. There was also this blissful experience I had explained before that, but everything was gone. But there was something in my heart. So there was, one day it so happened that there was this village boy. He came to me. He was my friend, childhood friend. He came. That Baba is coming to Nagar, the place where I got initiated. I was really happy. I was delighted. I want to go to see Baba again. And this is a mystery until now, that who told and how, Baba again connected me. I have still a mystery, because he was not Margi. He didn't know anybody. Somebody met on the road and he said Baba is coming, and that message had to be sent to me. I never found that mystery, that who had that person. So anyway, I made a plan how to escape from my home. Really, this was it. So I convinced my father that, my father wanted to make me a lawyer. So I said, Father, I don't want to do anything with Ananda Marga. I want to go back and study and become a lawyer. And my father got very happy. I said, I don't want to do this business. I'm not interested. And he was seeing that I'm not interested for anything. And he was happy that I can go back and do, study again, and I don't have to deal with Anand Marga. So he said, go to your mother, go. And I got money, and I had already some of the money of business. There's a lot of money in my pocket. I said, oh well, my planning was something else. I had no planning. Actually, I wanted only to see Baba. I was so much, but I wanted to just get out from my home. So I took all this money and I came to the town. And when I arrived by bus, and it was just Baba had arranged everything for me, one after another. There was one Dada, his name was Acharya Shyamananda Avadhu'ta. He was waiting there. So I rushed to him. I said, Dada, where is Baba? I told him that my friend told me Baba is coming here. He said, no, Baba is not coming here. Who told you? I said, my friend. I was so totally shocked and surprised that, Baba is not here. And I thought maybe this Dada doesn't know about, this sannyasi doesn't know about, Baba's coming here. So I went to the Jagriti center of Ananda Marga, ashram. I went there and asked the other Dada, who was in charge of the ashram, the details Dada, and asked about, this question I had, about Baba. He said, no, Baba is not coming here. There is no planning for Baba for coming here. I totally shocked. How my friend told me these things. Who told me? Why told me? What was the reason? So Dada looked at me, Dada told the Samananda, he used to live in Ranchi. He said, well, you want to see Baba? Why don't you come with me? I really got excited to see Baba. I said, but in my head that I go to Ranchi, I can only stay 1 or 2 days. But even I was happy to just go and see Baba and come back. That was the planning really in the beginning. And so I went with this Dada, to Ranchi. And, I went there. And then when I uh, that luckily there was some good news for me there. The DS Dada who knows about my case, he was no more. He was transferred, so no one know. No other Dada know about my case. That so I was able to stay. What I mean, if that Dada was there that time, so Baba arranged everything for me. If that DS Dada was there, he would not have allowed me to stay in Ranchi. Luckily, he was not there. New Dada didn't know head and tail about me. And the second thing was the LFT training was going on just in front of Baba's quarter in Ranchi. So some of the Dada who knows me say, why don't you take LFT training? I said, yes, Dada, I can take the training. I was very happy to take training. So I took training there. It was just in front of Baba quarter in Ranchi. Those days, the Baba quarter was in different place. We have a new place now. That was rented place. So I took the training there and, I became LFTs. And so that was it. That was it. So today, after I will tell you, uh, my main job was, to take Baba, Jagriti and take to the office and go for field work with Baba. So it remained for, after the LFT's time, maybe 2 months or 3 months there, I was there, or less than that. Uh, but I will tell you, it was wonderful, honor to be there. But I will tell you very interesting stories tomorrow about my LFT trainings. How Baba saved my life. This is a very interesting story is coming. I will narrate you tomorrow about my LFT trainings. So it will continue my stories, my life. Thank you very much for joining and sharing. Bhavanam Kevalam 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 भावनाम केवलम। दूसरी बात है कि ये जो कहा जाता है कि बाधा सजुष्मान सप्ति सेव्यमस्तपिति लक्ष्ये, the obstacles and hindrance, the helping agent in a spiritual journey. It is not obstacles. It speed up your progress. So whatever obstacles and hindrance came, actually it made me more strong, more strong. So do not worry and do not be afraid. Whenever obstacles and hindrance come in your life, you just face it. All right. Thank you. Namaskar. From Pita Baba.